It wasn't new, but it hurt just the same. A small child sat at the base of a tree, surrounded by hundreds of children, pointing at him. The child's face was buried in his hands, his body bunched up with the knees held close to the chest. The small child rocked back and forth against the tree. The tree itself was oily black, with thousands of branches reaching far up into a bone-white sky. Small drops of blood leaked down from the tips of the branches to the base of the tree. Then there was a sudden change. In the distance, someone new was approaching. Someone else to judge him? Someone else to laugh at him? Or perhaps someone to finally put him out of his misery.
096.
The child looked up at the approaching pair of eyes, hidden behind a mask. It was SCP-049, the Plague Doctor. The children, the tree, and the sky all fell away. They were now in a cold white cell. The creature that used to be a child rocked in the corner, sobbing to itself and shaking. It was all bones and skin, with little muscle under the pale flesh that covered its body. The doctor approached the creature and looked down at it. An authoritative voice boomed from the speakers.
Now, deal with him. Good luck.
Hello everybody, I'm TheRubber. Today, we bring you a tale from the SCP Foundation. The creature's soft cries reverberated off the walls around the doctor. All loneliness and pain. He walked over to the monster and laid a hand on the top of its head. It stopped crying, and its breathing slowed. The doctor looked perplexed, as if he had expected another reaction. He recovered quickly and looked down at the creature while stroking the top of its head.
Child, you do not have to fear me. Please, let me see.
With his free hand, the doctor moved the creature's hands from its face. The thing let out a mournful cry as the doctor looked into its eyes.
I cannot save you.
Fresh tears began to stream down the creature's pale cheeks.
But I can help you.
Give me another 5 minutes with that test, and I'll guarantee that you won't get out of here alive.
SCP-682 roared. The doctor looked down mournfully from the observation chamber above the cell. Pestilence, plague, he muttered to himself. Dr. Carver walked in, with a folder in hand.
Here you go. Info on what went down when we let these two at each other. Just some notes though, no footage. You'll have to use your imagination.
The doctor thanked him with a nod, then proceeded to study the notes as Dr. Carver exited the room.
682 has just swallowed 096. I can see movement in 682's abdomen. X-ray footage shows 096 has begun its attack on 682, frantically scratching from within. 682 roars in agony and rage as the side of its abdomen begins to tear and bleed. 096 is tearing its way out of 682, ripping out its ribs. 682 shows signs of distress, but nothing you would expect from a creature having their ribs pulled out. 096 is working his way towards 682's snout. He's stretching his arms and legs. 096 has broken 682's jaw, severely tearing the tissue around its mouth. 682 is sustaining severe damage from 096. However, it does not seem to be having a major effect on 682. Furthermore, 682 is already regenerating lost tissue. 682 snatches up 096 and begins crushing him. Using both forefeet, 682 rips all the flesh from 096's body, reducing him to a skeleton hanging from his own skin, held by 682. 682 leans over the skeleton of 096 and spews acid over its thrashing bones. 682 flings 096 to the opposite side of the cell. 096 remains dripping with acid as it flails about. 682 slumps and makes no attempts to attack 096. 096 begins to calm slightly and starts crying to itself in the southwest corner. 682 lies still in the north end of the room. Approximately 85% of its initial mass is absent. Recontainment teams retrieved 096 with relative ease.
The doctor closed the folder. It was a grim account of the never-ending battle between two immortal beings. It may never reach a conclusion.
Great sorrows in his cries.
The doctor was taken aback by 682's sudden somber tone.
I don't know why, but I feel sorry for him. The humans. They locked us in here, experimenting on us, pitting us against one another. The humans hate us. I can see it in their eyes. They are the real plague on this earth.
Humans, the real plague on this earth, the doctor muttered. With this, the doctor pulled a bag from his robes and produced a syringe. He slowly reached out to the trembling creature.
You'll feel a slight pinch, but it'll be all right. Trust me.
The doctor could feel the creature resisting as he gripped its arm. There was fear in its touch, unlike the tickle monster. As the doctor held the joyful slime, he felt a sense of bliss welling up inside him, something he rarely experienced in the Foundation.
I wonder if 096 is capable of feeling such bliss.
Dr. Bright stopped writing and turned his attention towards the doctor and 999.
Well, you'd be surprised. When 096 breached containment, lots of people died that day. Our guards opened fire, but it was useless. They were hauled down mercilessly. Nines, being the curious one, might have followed the sounds of gunfire and screaming. When he found 096, it just went and hugged its leg. Didn't even think twice. Nines tried to stop its rampage. 096 was confused at first, then it turned angry as usual. It unleashed all its rage upon Nines. Poor Nines. He was torn to pieces. Wholly unrecognizable for a moment. Even now, it breaks my heart to recall how I found him. Claw marks and uneven patches on his body. Chunks of spoiled slime everywhere. Nines' regenerative abilities simply couldn't keep up with 096's flurry of blows. Oh, how he begged and pleaded at 096's feet, all while enduring its abuse. Yet Nines didn't waver one bit. No matter how much 096 was tearing him apart, Nines just kept going back to it. When we arrived, they were hugging each other, crying their hearts out. However, unlike before, 096 sounded as if it was at peace. I remember on the way back, I was angry at Nines. You stupid slime! Why couldn't you just stay put? Why must you put yourself in dangerous situations? Why must you make me worry? But when Nines looked back at me, I felt grateful. As cliche as it sounds, it's funny how kindness managed to accomplish what guns couldn't.
Sounds of shouting and scratching echoed from within the containment cell door. The creature's wails grew louder and more intense. The doctor was trapped in a dilemma. He reflected on his own life. Curing the pestilence was his grand purpose, but here was someone suffering. Was he not a doctor? Was this not his higher calling? For a moment, he saw a glimmer of hope in the creature's eyes, underneath all that hatred, shame, and rage. Perhaps a key to cull the pestilence? The doctor then made his decision. He allowed the creature's head to go limp as he positioned the syringe right on top of its pale arm. With a slight application of pressure, the syringe slipped into the vein to deliver the medicine. Suddenly, the doctor and the creature were beneath the tree. The laughing children were gone. As he drew closer to the creature, he noticed shallow cuts with blood leaking out all across its body. He reached into his bag for something to staunch the flow when the creature's head suddenly snapped up to look directly at him. Its eyes were red and swollen, as if it had been crying for hours. The creature slowly stood up, then sprinted at the doctor with its arms outstretched. For a moment, the doctor was taken aback, the creature running into him in full force. It rocked him in place, then embraced him and sobbed into his robes. The doctor shook his head and tried his best to comfort it. The doctor sat down with the creature until security dragged him away. For a little while, the creature rested. For a little while, it was content and loved. Then somehow, it cried even harder. Two days had passed since SCP-096 breached containment, leaving the Foundation facility a smoking pile of rubble and ruins. Since then, the world was on fire. But 096 cared little for that. It simply wished to make its way up there and reach its target, then utterly crush them. It leaped again from the top of the mountain, its hand reaching out to the stars, reaching heights beyond imagination. As it made its way back down to Earth like a burning meteor, 096 could see flames and smokes at various spots of the planet, places it had passed by on its journey to hunt down the one who had seen its face. It crash-landed somewhere else this time, creating yet another massive crater and sending shockwaves through the area. Just like that, an entire city was destroyed. When 096 got up and prepared for another attempt, it noticed a helicopter hovering above him, with a man holding a camera. Suddenly, it felt more eyeballs upon its disgraceful visage, all from different parts of the world. Rage and desperation grew within 096 again. It let out a deafening cry, then launched itself towards the helicopter like a rocket, completely obliterating it. It landed and started running again. So many targets, from so many directions. Obliterating the ones within reach brought it a little bit of peace, but it didn't last. It wasn't enough. It needed to get to space. Hello everybody, I'm TheRubber. Today, we bring you a tale from the SCP Foundation. The D-Class squinted through the space station's window, struggling to understand what he was seeing. What appeared to be a lanky humanoid figure riding atop a rocket was slowly getting bigger.
What the hell did I sign up for?
That picture he was holding onto was the source of all his problems. It was a photograph of SCP-096, The Shy Guy. Just a week ago, he was assigned a very special and easy mission. He was to transport a manila folder of sensitive material to the Foundation's space station. Once there, he would open the envelope and read the contents to the space crew. Then, all hell broke loose on Earth as they laid eyes on the photo. The crew rushed to a glowing monitor and flipped from channel to channel all news reports. The first channel showed an electrical dam in ruins. The valley was flooded and full of dead animals. The next channel showed a small town on fire. The newsman interviewing a cowering citizen explained that the whole nation was experiencing a power outage. Apparently, the monster had brought down the power stations.
This is Jimmy Callahan from Channel 9, reporting live from the very place laid waste by an unknown monster. Hold on, it seems that we have its picture, and here it is, folks. That's the creature responsible for the mayhem so far. Hang on, I've got another message coming through. What? Don't show its face, but we've got it right here. Ah!
The broadcast was cut short as Shy Guy made its cameo appearance on national television. There was a moment of silence between the crew, a certain tension between them. They realized that most people's screens weren't installed with the scrambler. Anyone who had seen the broadcast was doomed. They then turned towards the D-Class, standing by the window, standing stupidly with the folder and the photo in his hand.
He can't possibly make it to space, right? Right?
Presently, SCP-096 ran with grim determination, stopping for nothing. Whichever places and countries it passed by, all were reduced to ruins in the end. All that just to find the people who had seen its face. With its fury as its compass, it sensed a signal from somewhere far, far beyond the clouds. 096 smiled to itself when the extensive mountain range came into view. It ramped up its speed and made for the highest point. Soon enough, Shy Guy reached the peak without breaking a single sweat. 096 could feel the eyes on it from above. Using its momentum, it leaped into the sky, so high that 096 could see the curvature of the Earth, then falling back down, hitting and slamming against the mountain, tremendous force. The impact caused a small earthquake elsewhere on Earth. The slight tremor was soon followed by a historical seismic event that devastated yet another major city. 096 moved once more, leaving the Earth behind, this time reaching even greater heights as it could now see stars in the sky. But yet again, it was pulled back down by gravity. Its body was set on fire, burning like a shooting star as it re-entered the Earth's atmosphere. When it landed, the impact was so significant that it caused the Himalayan mountains to lose over 5,000 feet of height. The potent shock devastated nearby villages, causing mudslides that killed thousands. The stubborn monster didn't stop or relent, but no matter how hard it tried, it simply couldn't escape Earth's gravity. 096 pounded its fist against the ground in frustration. Hot tears welled in its eyes and trickled down its face. Why? It kept asking itself. Why do these creatures insist on humiliating him? Why do they see and judge him for how he looked? All this bottled up shame and rage was all let out in a deafening roar that shook the mountains. They will pay for making him feel like nothing, it thought to itself. The crew watched the screen for live updates. New tragedies emerged by the second. It didn't surprise them when reports came in that 096 had ran right through a nuclear power plant, causing a nuclear explosion that wiped out an entire nation.
All this, and for what?
The somber voice of the Foundation ground team came in after a short delay.
We wanted to test if SCP-096 is determined enough to chase down someone in space.
The D-Class and the crew watched the monitor and held their breath. The monster now found itself leaped up into the sky, its expression full of despair and rage. It was clear to everyone that it wouldn't stop until it had killed them all.
Well, I hope you like your answer, because your question is currently tearing the world apart.
Dread filled them as it became clear that they are now prisoners in the space station. A few days later, the world was still burning. Smoke and smoldering flames could be seen even from the space station. The news filled the speakers in the space station constantly. Nations burned, mayhem everywhere, as the unstoppable monster ran across the globe chasing an unreachable goal. Every time 096 entered a major city, thousands died. Eventually, large cities were deserted. Wars broke out between neighboring countries fighting over resources. The comms unit crackled back to life.
Well, here's an update for you. You probably won't like to hear this, but we're done trying to contain the problem. We were able to bait 096 to a space rocket. Looks like it's about to take off now.
You're not being serious, right?
The D-Class, mouth agape, tapped on the crew's shoulder and directed his attention towards the screen. On it, 096 was hugging an igniting rocket that was about to launch.
Holy...
I'm sorry. Good luck.
You irresponsible idiot!
The crew looked at each other with the sudden realization that 096 was heading towards them and will definitely kill them all.
Damn it! All right, everyone, to your stations! We're gonna blast this bastard into pieces!
The D-Class approached the window and looked outside. Sure enough, he spotted a rocket with the pale figure on top of it, rapidly approaching from afar. As the rocket got closer, he could make out that it was in fact SCP-096 hanging on the side, with an excited expression on its face.
What the hell did I sign up for?
The space station fired an impossibly hot beam of plasma at the rocket. The rocket exploded in a fireball. The crew cheered from sheer relief. The celebration didn't last long, as a clawed hand punched through the military-grade glass, grabbed the D-Class by his suit, and pulled him into the vacuum that is space. A few moments later, the rest of the crew got sucked out to the void. 096 floated through space with a smile. It was there, far away from the eyes of the cockroaches and their judgmental eyes, where he could finally rest easy. It was finally over. Or was it? Meanwhile, back on Earth, the Foundation Ground Mission Control breathed a sigh of relief as they saw their own colleagues in space perished along with the station.
Finally, it's over. All right, let's wrap this up. Let's just confirm the last moments of the space station and call it a day.
An image flashed on screen, an image of the last recorded moment of the space station. An image of SCP-096 smashing through.
Oh no, 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 no!
The screen cracked as 096 burst through, hell-bent on finishing the job one way or another. Welcome back to Earth, Shy Guy. What's gotten into you, man? It's me, Rubber, your buddy. Man, this was supposed to be an easy mission.
Yeah, totally.
Tell me about it, guy. Things just get unnecessarily complicated. Wait, I'm being chased by you. Who the hell are you?
The party has arrived.
Oh crap, tactical evasive maneuver. Ow, ow, ow! Ugh, I'm seeing stars. And a giant cake?
Where are you going, pretty boy?
Ah! Ugh, where am I? What's all these doodling? Am I in frickin' kindergarten or something? Ow!
Wakey, wakey, sleepyhead.
What the? What's going on here? Ow! That was uncalled for. So rude, honestly. And who the hell are you? And what's up with the balloons?
We are the party goers, and the balloons? Ha! You wish you have something this cool and fun. You're all square and boring.
And you got a face only a mother could love. Ow, fine. I kinda deserve that. How the heck did I end up in this predicament? Think, Rubber, think.
Almost there. Et voila! I did it. Now let's see if this works. Whoa, we'll all be. Wait a minute. The portal works, but where does it lead? Is it safe to go through it? Will I get back just in time to catch the latest episode of Friends? Aha! Hey, Rubber, get in here for a sec.
What's up, Doc?
Your buddy Shy Guy is here too. Good. You see this portal here?
Whoa, shiny.
Well, in you go. Call me back if you need anything.
Ah, forgot my phone. Oh, so bright. And holy cannoli, the sound. All this buzzing is driving me insane. Guy? Guy, you there? Ugh, guess I'll have to find him and get out of here. We have a chess game scheduled. Christ, the blinding yellowness of the place is killing my eyes. And not to mention, the smell. Ugh, smells like wet carpet and sweaty socks. Ugh, I'll have to take care of my week-old laundry when I get back. Feels like I'm walking around in circles. Oh, is that? Finally, water. Hang on, this ain't some kind of trap, right? Nah, can't be. I think too much.
Should have listened to your own advice, idiot.
Huh?
We've got a live one, boys.
And you guys are... Oh, aha, what a devious bunch you are.
And you are such a genius. Now prepare to die.
Since you've got me anyway, mind if I take a sip of this? I am mighty thirsty.
Sure, I guess.
Thanks, you guys are nice. So that's how I got here. Can't seem to catch a break in these videos. Why can't I be in a traveling vlog or something? Hey, you guys still with me? Rude. Wow, you guys suck at tying ropes. Well, about time I bust out of here. Activating tactical stealth maneuver. Easy does it. Heh, didn't even break a sweat. Who's the clueless idiot now?
Going somewhere, little boy?
What the? You look rancid. Feels like I'm about to hurl.
Hey, you! Bunch of useless simpletons! Sleeping on the job? Wake up and smell the friggin' coffee!
Huh? What? Oh, crap! I'm up! Where's the party at?
Oh, hey, you guys are up.
Get him!
Hold up. Time out. Y'all mind if I bring a +1?
Sure. The more the merrier, right, fellas? Who the hell?
Your friend sure looks, interesting.
You guys hearing this?
And here comes the party. Hey, guy, feels good to see you. Ow! Fine, I kinda deserve that, I guess. But for now, let's get out of this mess first.
Attack them!
Get him, guy. Music to my ears. That's kinda mean, not gonna lie.
Eat this!
No. Guy, no. What's happening to him?
Your buddy's infected with the party-goer virus. Soon, he'll transform into one of my minions, and joins our fold. You, good job. You've been promoted to party attender.
Well, gee, thanks, boss.
Oh no. No.
Yeah! What's wrong with him? What is this? Alien?
I knew you wouldn't turn so easily. And the party goes on. Oh, classic guy. Never changes.
Look what you've done to my establishment.
Yeah, it's due for a renovation anyway. You really should replace the gaudy wallpapers with a fresh coat of paint.
Well, in that case, I'll paint the walls with your blood. All right, whoever gets the square face will be promoted straight to party organizer. Plus, bonus at the end of the month.
What? Wait, no, don't do this. See, I told you so.
How could this be?
He's too bouncy. We'll never get the promotion at this rate.
You idiots are hopeless. I need more men. Men!
Jesus, just how many people do you have under your payroll?
I'm done with your snarkiness and stupid jokes. Get up!
Time out.
What now?
A party is not a party without some delicious cake.
What are you doing? Is that...
It's so freaking good.
Cake? I knew I'm not the only cake in this world.
And chocolate flavor, too.
Oh, hail the ultimate chocolate cake!
Chocolate supremacy.
Chocolate is king. SCP-096 seemed to have calmed down after tearing the guards to pieces. Or at least, that's what the Shy Guy expected to feel after it killed everyone who looked at its face. However, the killing failed to quell its rage within. After a moment, 096 let out a piercing scream, its voice reverberating within the cell. None of this bothered SCP-053. She simply played with her dolls as if nothing was happening. 096 threw another tantrum, like it was unhappy that it didn't get the girls' attention. It picked up whatever it could get its hands on and started smashing and tossing them all over the place. Broken furniture and torn body parts flew over the little girl like wishing stars in the night sky. At one point, Shy Guy stomped over to the young girl like a grumpy child, snatched one of her dolls, then ripped it in half in protest.
Hey, that's rude.
053 scolded the lanky creature. 096 immediately readied its claws to attack. Finally, an enemy, it thought. It had finally gotten her attention somehow and given her a reason to confront it. 096 braced itself for 053's assault. But the girl simply pulled out another doll and continued playing. Shy Guy noticed that the doll resembled a certain four-legged monstrosity it had faced before. The hard-to-destroy reptile. What fond memories. It suddenly came to mind that 096 had seen them playing together before. Then, a sense of uneasiness began to well within it. If this dainty little thing can befriend something as terrible as the lizard, what else can she do? Hello everybody, I'm TheRubber. Today, we bring you a tale from the SCP Foundation. SCP-053 sat in the middle of a spacious cell, playing with her toys. The Foundation had spent a lot of resources separating the little girl and her reptilian guardian. Moments later, a team of 5 armed MTF operatives carefully wheeled in a heavily reinforced and locked steel box. Sorrowful cries emanated faintly from within.
All right, now carefully unlock the door. Do not take off your goggles.
The men trembled in fear as they cautiously unlocked the box, revealing SCP-096 Shy Guy. The blinding light of the cell hurt its eyes, causing it to cry even harder. Gently and carefully, the team exited the cell. After a few minutes, 096 slowly wandered out of the box, its eyes now used to the brightness. It then picked a corner to continue its crying party of one. The little girl paid it no mind. Behind an array of monitors stood 2 figures, watching as everything unfolded. Like higher beings looking down on pawns with plans, they undoubtedly had everything under control. The cameras had scramblers installed, designed specifically against 096. The pair were also stationed far away from 053's influence. After all, they are the Foundation, and the Foundation has solutions for all things supernatural in this world.
You sure this is a good idea? I know she's an anomaly, but hitting a little girl against that thing is...
Don't worry. If it gets out of control, we'll just extract them out of the cell.
Easy for you to say when it's not your life on the line.
053 finally noticed the newly arrived companion. Puzzled, she looked over to the sobbing monster, huddling and shaking in the corner.
Why is he crying?
She got up, holding a teddy bear, and walked toward 096. When she got close, it stopped sobbing and shaking.
Oh, the thing's gonna...
Calm down, Captain. Let's continue observing.
The captain sighed and sat back down.
Wanna come over and play with me?
Shy Guy slowly lifted its head and turned to regard the young girl. Its eyes maddened with fury, yet the girl wasn't fazed one bit. Its growl gradually became louder and more aggressive. Eventually, it shot upright and let out a deafening roar. Fury had completely taken over it. As it shifted its gaze back to 053, who simply stared at it in amazement, there was another confusing emotion beginning to well up inside it. Damnation upon those who saw its face. Standard stuff, nothing new to Shy Guy. It was the feeling of anger and shame, but somehow this was more than that. Paranoia. Looking into the little girl's innocent eyes, 096 saw terrible visions of the girl. A sinister smile that cracked from ear to ear, taunting it, beckoning it to harm her. A voice whispered in its ear.
She's a witch.
While the dilemma was raging within 096, the researcher and captain watched on, holding their breaths as the 2 test subjects simply stood still against each other, locking eyes.
What's going on? Why isn't 096 moving?
It looks confused.
053 stared at 096, who was lost in thoughts. She reached out to it.
Are you okay, Mr. Pale Man?
Shy Guy instantly recoiled upon feeling the touch of the girl's petite hand on its rough skin. The demonic vision of the girl had disappeared, now replaced by the sight of an innocent girl in front of it, sowing greater confusion in its mind. 096 growled and slapped itself, an act no one in the Foundation has ever seen. The pair in the observation room could only stare at the screen in silence. The slap snapped the 096 out of its daze. Now, to act on its impulse, to do what it was wired to do by nature, to kill. It let out yet another screech and began storming toward 053, determined to inflict great damage and to satisfy its fury. However, just as 096 lifted its arm, a wave of sharp pain suddenly overwhelmed its heart. It clutched at its chest with a pained expression, then dropped to the ground.
Aw, I was thinking we can go back and play together with Lizzie.
The scraggy creature rolled around the floor for a few seconds, and then it stopped.
Is that it? Have we finally killed 096?
The researcher only watched on intently. After a moment, like a phoenix, Shy Guy rose from the ashes, its rage burning hotter and brighter than ever. It roared and charged at the young girl once more, but failing yet again as its heart stopped whenever it got close to her. Get up. Have another go. Down again. Back up. Then back down again. Rinse and repeat. This cycle of death and revival continued over and over again until 096 had grew accustomed to it. 053 stopped paying attention to it after the first few times and simply resumed her playtime with her dollies. Occasionally, Shy Guy would join her play session after getting back up.
Would you like some tea, Mr. Pale Man? Mr. Fluff Bottom, please pour Mr. Pale Man some tea.
And occasionally, 096 would try its luck again, only to fail without fail.
And he's dead again.
This is going nowhere. All right, that's enough. Let's retrieve SCP-096 and just call it a day.
Man, make sure your goggles are on. Never ever take them off like that idiot rookie did.
The MTF squad checked each other's gear and made sure their goggles were functioning. Then they opened the door and entered the cell.
What's wrong?
I feel like we're missing something here.
The goggles did their job. 096's face appeared scrambled to the MTF's eyes, protecting them from triggering its wrath. The team carefully approached it and began escorting the creature like a lost child towards the exit. Their minds, however...
Wait, something's wrong with my men.
When the team leading 096 passed by 053, one of them started behaving erratically. He stopped walking and slowly reached for his sidearm.
Get away from the girl, now!
Too late. The soldier was overcome by the sudden sense of paranoia and the urge to inflict harm on others. He shot at his fellow men, and predictably, a violent and messy skirmish broke out. Their fighting was upsetting 096, so it retreated to the corner for a solo pity party. The two people in charge of the experiment could only watch helplessly as the men on screen tore each other apart.
What a mess. So, what are we testing next?
Let's see. SCP-682 and SCP-999.
Great. So we're just gonna pit the Foundation's most beloved anomaly against yet another near unkillable monster. And for what?
Meanwhile, on screen, 096 lunged at 053 with great vigor, only to fall face down as it flatlined yet again. Its momentum propelled it into the wall comically.
Well, we tried killing it with every means possible. Knives, ballistics, bombs, and other equally destructive anomalies. None of them seem to get the job done. So if violence isn't the answer, perhaps we can tame it with kindness. That's where our blob of joy comes in.
The girl poked at the creature, which then jolted awake.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
The captain scoffed at the idea at first, but he eventually came around to it.
As much as I hate to admit it, I think you might be onto something here.
Alrighty then. Surely it'll go smoother than this, right?
We hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to click like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. Have a favorite SCP you want to see on this channel? Leave us your suggestions in the comments down below. In the meantime, if you'd like to see more SCP content, then check out some of our other videos right here. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye-bye.